SEC, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the Star Ledger, El Nuevo Coquí, Haiti Progress, and Luz Americano newspapers, and by distribution to the administrative offices of the Newark Public Schools. A copy of the meeting notice was also forwarded to City Hall for posting. This is an advisory board regular/reorganization meeting for Tuesday night, April 24th, 2012. Please let's stand for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to flag, United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Ms. Baskerville-Richardson. Ms. Spate. Mr. Jeffries.
Here.
Mr. Kenny.
Here.
Mr. Lamore.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Ms. Marin.
Here.
Quorum is present. I will now announce the official results of the board election. The following are the official results for the election for the three members of the advisory board of the election on April 17th, 2012. I will be reading in order of ballot. Daniqua Matthias, 5720. Philip C. Seelinger Jr., 1701. Rashid McCreary, 720. It's Maciel Valentin. Maciel Valentin, 2582. Marquise Akil Lewis, 4127. Swapan Bazu, 182. Tara Williams, 2918. Rashan Kahif Hassan, 792. Rafael A. Brito, 978. Ariana Perello, 3646. As certified by the city clerk, the three members for the advisory board for a 3-year term are Daniqua Matthias, Marquise Akil Lewis, and Rashid McCreary. Congratulations.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask that the corridor right on the left of me be cleared at this point in time? Can people take seats? Thank you. Mr. Del Grosso, can you help me seat the people? Thank you.
Can I ask the three winning candidates to join me at the podium for the swearing-in ceremony?
You need me to do anything while you're doing that? You're going to do all three of them at one time?
You're a star, man. Ready? Is this on? All right, Mr. Lewis. You can use that. It's fine. You can use that. Okay, please put, I think it's right hand up and left hand on the Bible. Put right hand up, left hand on the Bible, right? Okay, nice. Repeat after me, sir. I, Marquis Akil Lewis,
I, Marquis Akil Lewis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I would bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and also to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and also to the
governments
governments of the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Marquis Akil Lewis,
I, Marquis Akil Lewis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications
that I possess the qualifications
for the office of a member of the Board of Education.
for the office of the member of the Board of Education.
I am not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
or by conviction, crime, or offense,
and I will faithfully, impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of that office
all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Ms. Mathias? Just put your hand here. Repeat after me. Okay, very good. You can use that. That's fine.
Left hand?
Just whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, repeat after me, please. I, Danica Mathias,
I, Danica Matthias,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey
of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and also to the governments
and also to the government
established in the United States and this state
established in the United States and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Danica Mathias,
I, Danica Matthias,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications
that I possess the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office of a member of the Board of Education.
for the office of member of a Board of Education.
I'm not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
and I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of that office
all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, repeat after me. I, Rashid McCreary,
I, Rashid McCrary,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey
of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and also to the governments
and also to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Rashid McCreary,
I, Rashid McCrary,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess
that I possess
the qualifications
the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office
for the office
of a member of the Board of Education.
of a member of a Board of Education.
I'm not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
of
that office according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam SAB, they need to clear that. They need to clear that. Where's security?
He's right there.
Well, he should do his job.
Mr. Freeman, can you clear that area, please, and have everybody seated?
Like he's standing there, he clearly don't see that's a problem. So don't he see it's a problem?
Y'all remember that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new board. I will now take roll call for the new board. Ms. Baskerville-Richardson,
Here.
Ms. Davis-Spate,
Here.
Mr. Jeffries. Here. Mr. Kenny.
Here.
Mr. Lamore.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Ms. Matias. Dr. McCreary. Ms. Pinto-Marin.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, I have a message from our superintendent, Cammie Anderson, who was unable to be with us as she's away accepting an award on behalf of the district. She did prepare congratulatory remarks for the board members. I would like to read the letter into the record, and I have copies for each board member. Dear Board Member Baskerville-Richardson, congratulations on your new term as an esteemed member of the Newark Public Schools Advisory Board. I am grateful for your commitment to improving educational outcomes for all of Newark's young people and to ensuring that our students graduate ready to succeed in the college or career of their choice. I look forward to working together as we embark upon a successful end to the current school year and prepare for the 2012-2013 school year with a renewed sense of purpose and focus. I appreciate the spirit of service and dedication that is exemplified by the School Advisory Board, working together as a board and individually as community leaders. I am confident that we will deliver on the promise of a better future for Newark Public Schools. Thank you, and again, congratulations. Faithfully yours, Cammie Anderson, State District Superintendent. To our new board members, Ms. Matias, Dr. McCreary, the superintendent will be contacting you shortly and welcomes you to the board as we begin a new era of collaboration. Congratulations. General Counsel has asked me to clarify that these letters are for all board members as we begin their new term. I thought I did that, but apparently he missed it. In terms of that, congratulations once again. We look forward to working with you. Tonight, we would normally announce our committees and ask board members to begin to sign up. One of the first pieces of work the superintendent and executive staff will be working with the board on a retreat, which will be planned in early May. At that point in time, we will be discussing board operations, functions, and structure. So that ends my business for tonight. I would like to ask the principal of George Washington Carver, Dr. Winston Jackson, to give us greetings as we are in his wonderful school.
First, we will have greetings from our PTA president.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and children. Good evening. My name is Miss Self. I am the PTA president of George Washington Carver. I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the advisory board meeting. I would like to say it's very important for parents to support your school district PTA.
Thank you, Ms. Self. I bring greetings on behalf of Principal Belcher, administrators, teachers, staff, and students from George Washington Carver, Bruce Street School for the Deaf, and Spark Academy. We are honored to be your host this evening. Welcome to 3 Schools, 1 Community. Welcome, advisory board members. Congratulations to our newly elected advisory board members as well. Big hand for those individuals. Welcome, colleagues, community members, parents, and friends. We will not have student presentations this evening. However, I invite all of you to visit our George Washington Carver Museum that is held in our main lobby. On display in the museum, you will see 3 STEM projects that were entered into the Future City, New Jersey Regional Competition for middle school students that was held at Rutgers, New Brunswick in January. This year, we were the only urban school in the state of New Jersey to attend that competition. Also, this year, Polaris City, our Bruce Street team, won for Best Transportation, topping 70 teams. On display also in our museum, you will see a science project that was completed by Spark Academy that was displayed during our shared campus Math and Science Family Fun Night last week. Also welcome, yes, big hand. I welcome all of you to support our student council in their fundraiser that they currently have in the museum as well, to support our annual fun day for all of our students within our building. And we hope that all of you have a wonderful and productive meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. We have a small spot of business we'd like to do. Dr. Jackson, don't go too far. I'd like to ask Danae Jackson of the 6th grade.
Danae Jackson.
I beg your pardon?
Danae Jackson.
They gave me the wrong pronunciation, Danae Jackson, and I do apologize. Ms. Jackson, could you step to the microphone with Principal Jackson? The reason that we are asking Danae to join Principal Jackson at the microphone is because we want to recognize her outstanding performance on the New Jersey Assessment of Skills and Knowledge, the NJASK. Danae has made history at George Washington Carver Elementary School. She is the first student to score a perfect 300.
This is Danae's mother. Unfortunately, Danae is not here. Ms. Wilson.
You might as well remain standing.
Please.
I wasn't finished. Not only has she scored a perfect 300, she has done so 3 consecutive times. On the mathematics section of the New Jersey Assessment of Skills and Knowledge, commonly known as NJASK. She has achieved a score of 300 on the NJASK 3, the NJASK 4, and the NJASK 5. Now, give her a round of applause. And in the spirit of parental engagement, is that Mrs. Jackson standing next to you, Dr. Jackson? Mrs. Jackson? Yes. You are to be commended as her mother for working with her.
Thank you very, very, very much.
For working with her at home and for consulting with her teachers to make sure she is kept abreast of your daughter's academic needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Wilson, if
Dr.
I can impose, Mama's going to bring Danae back later. Can we recognize her in person when she comes back?
Most deaf, as they say.
Thank you very much.
The other piece of business we would like to do is our parental recognition. Both Ms. Baskerville and Ms. Shanique Spate have been the board members who have participated in that in the past. Who has that?
I have it.
I don't. You have it, Ms.
Yes.
Spate? Good. So we're going to recognize our parents, and then we will move to the election of officers. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Each day throughout the district, hundreds of parents are making a difference in our schools, supporting their children's academic success by volunteering. The Newark Public Schools Advisory Board Community Relations Committee wishes to recognize and express its appreciation to those parents and community members who devote their time, share their talents and resources with children, staff, and administrators to improve the quality of our schools and the lives of our children. Each month, this board will continue to recognize parents and guardians who support our district-wide parental involvement program, consisting of activities focusing on parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and community involvement. Nominated by their child's school administrator, we are proud to announce tonight awards recipients. Honorees, each Central Region, Danielle Rodriguez, Hawkins Street School. South Region, Viviana Correa, Miller Street School. West Region, Stanley Conover, Westside High School. And last, North Region, Rosa Pinata, First Avenue School. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. We will now have nominations for chair for the 12-13 year. I'll open the floor for nominations for chair for the advisory board for the next year.
I'd like to nominate Antoinette Baskerville Richardson.
I have a... Okay. Ms. Matthias has moved for chair for Ms. Baskerville Richardson. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a nomination for Ms. Baskerville Richardson, moved by Ms. Matthias, second by Mr. Lewis. Are there any other nominations for chair? Okay. As there are no other nominations for chair, we will now close the nominations and take a vote. This is a motion to approve Ms. Baskerville Richardson for chair for the next year, moved by Ms. Matthias and second by Mr. Lewis. Ms. Baskerville Richardson.
Yes.
Ms. Davis Spate.
Yes.
Mr. Jeffries.
Abstention.
Mr. Kenny.
Yes.
Mr. Lamore.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Absolutely.
Ms. Matthias.
Yes.
Dr. McCreary.
Yes.
Ms. Pintor-Marin.
Abstain.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Baskerville Richardson. Which way to vice chair?
Right now. You're the chair. You're the
We will now take nominations for vice chair. I will open the floor, nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Rashid McQuarrie.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny has nominated Dr. McCreary. Is there a second?
I second.
Ms. Matthias? We have a nomination for Dr. McCreary for vice chair. Are there any other nominations? We will then close the floor for nominations and take a vote for Dr. McCreary for Vice Chair. This is a vote for Dr. McCreary for Vice Chair, moved by Mr. Kenny, second by Ms. Matias. Ms. Baskerville-Richardson.
Yes.
Ms. Davis-Spate.
No.
Mr. Jeffries.
Yes.
Mr. Kenny.
Yes.
Mr. Lamore.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Ms. Matias.
Yes.
Dr. McCreary.
Yes.
Ms. Pinter-Marin.
Abstain.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Dr. McCreary. We'll now ask the new chair and the vice chair to assume their new seats.
I'm good. I'll take my water. I gotta take my name test.
Miss Jackson and Mr. Wheeler. Order. Order now. Miss Jackson. Order. I am calling for order now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentous occasion which excuse me, I am speaking now. I am speaking. Okay? We will not have any more calling out, young man. Let me be very clear, okay? We are beginning our meeting. We will have control of the meeting. We will have order. You have received your first warning. Ms. Baskerville?
Good evening, everyone. I have a short statement that I would like to present to you this evening. I would first like to thank my fellow board members for your votes of confidence in my leadership. I look forward to bringing bold, innovative, yet experienced leadership to this body. My entire professional life has been dedicated to education. I love the Newark Public Schools. I have known more good teachers than bad, more caring parents than negligent, more curious students than not. The challenge of today is to develop our schools to meet the needs of a changing society. I look forward to and encourage change, as change is sorely needed. What that change looks like and the role of community in formulating that change are the issues of the day. It is important that this board continue to communicate with Superintendent Anderson and to be sure that she is always aware of the sentiments of our constituents. We in Newark are as capable as any other community of making decisions about the education of our children. Therefore, we will continue the push for local control. Some may look at this board as a board divided, but I don't. There are issues of responsibility to children that bind us together. I caution my fellow board members to always be open-minded, exercise caution in word and deed, and never forget the obligation of the Newark Public Schools to educate every child without regard to address parental involvement or academic or behavioral challenges. The truth is that the education of our children does matter, and it is therefore incumbent upon us to always put the children first. Education matters, and we must put the children first. I look forward to working with all of the board members, my vice chair, Dr. McCreary, the community, and administrators of Newark Public Schools. To the outgoing chair, Eliana Pintor, I hope that I have been of assistance to you during your tenure, and I look forward to you sharing your wisdom and experience during my tenure. You're welcome. I also would like to say to those who ran for the Newark Public Schools Advisory Board who are not successful this time, we respect and commend your interest in the Newark Public Schools, and we hope that that continues not just at election time, but throughout the year. Thank you all very much. At this time, I would like to ask the board members who were sworn in today if they would like to take the opportunity to make brief comments.
I first like to thank God for using me in the way that He has. I'd like to thank my husband and my family for enduring with me these past 3 years. This was not a campaign for a seat on the advisory board, but it was a campaign for political change and strong advocacy on behalf of all parents of Newark Public School students. I'd like to thank the supporters, Councilman Baraka and his colleagues on the Municipal Council, the strong and staunch supporters of the Children First team, and to the community that elected us, and to the parents and students that we are preparing to serve. Please know that we will always put children first, that we are always working on behalf of making sure that all children in Newark Public Schools receive an excellent education. That is the platform that we ran on, and that is the commitment that I make to you today. Thank you so much.
Dr. McCreary.
Thank you very much. If I can just take another moment of your time. The reform work which is needed in Newark and throughout our country should not be seen as a pathway to immediate gratification. The goal here is education, not publicity. I believe the one true thing that we all have in common is the ability to still feel, dream, and imagine alternative possibilities for the best options of all of our children. In stating this, the more important task at hand for these compassionate people is having the faith to carry out our ideologies and sense of willingness to make a difference on a larger level, no matter the personal cost. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." We as a global society and especially here in Newark, need to be more open-minded and realize that our ways of knowing are not the ultimate end of knowledge. We can no longer be a city whose educational success rests on the few that do well as we brush over the many that have been done a grave disservice. This evening, I thought it would be important to provide many of you with a short perspective in regards to my personal educational philosophy and position on education as an educator, husband, and father. I am a humble benefactor of what opportunities have been afforded an individual who is provided with a quality education, and all of my opportunities started right here in Newark, New Jersey. With such schools like Newark Day Community Center, which became Mary E. Willis School, the Harriet Tubman School, and St. Benedict's Preparatory School. These institutions prepared me to represent Newark globally, and now I plan to do it locally. The aforementioned institutions were successful for me because they focused on strengthening my social as well as moral development, as well as my academic aptitude. They are, for me, true community schools. I look forward to working with all members of the community, and I await their input, collaboration, and direction of my fellow colleagues on the Newark Public School Advisory Board, Superintendent Anderson, community leaders, stakeholders, and more importantly, the residents of the city of Newark. Because ultimately, it is their special interest for which we all are serving. My position on education and the Newark educational reform movement is in no way an absolute model nor perspective on how to address all the ills plaguing our educational system and our community. This will not be done overnight, and maybe not even in my lifetime. This is an attempt to engage on both sides in a more constructive dialogue, civil debate, for the only way to end the problems in all of our schools. In making right decisions for children, we must do it together as a community. My name is Dr. Rasheed McCrary. I am a son of Newark, a West Ward resident. I am here for one reason and one reason alone, to serve my entire community. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I want to first thank God, who is the head of my life. I want to thank the supporters of the Children First team, from Councilman Baraka to Mayor Sharp James to Councilwoman Mildred Crump to former Councilwoman Betsy Walker to everyone who really believed in this team and really stood behind us from the beginning to the end. You have been the backbone and the strength of this campaign, and we could not have done it without you. With all obstacles that have been thrown our way, we knew that only one person could have the final say, and that was my daddy, Jesus Christ. During this campaign, I believe that I became more mature because I understand that this is going to be a part of my life. I understand that I don't just serve the people that I talk to every day, but I serve people who know of me and know my abilities to serve this community. I'm a proud graduate of Arts High School. And I am a proud graduate of Hawkins Street School, and I see my former principal, Joseph Randero, in the audience. Former football player for Eastside High School. For Eastside High School. And I am a brother of 4 lovely individuals who are products of this school system. And I know it's my responsibility, it's my obligation, it's my duty to make sure that I prepare a better future for them and for my child that I will have in the future. I understand that I have to serve not just them, but I have to serve every child who come across my path each and every day. I would also like to thank my church family, New Night Missionary Baptist Church, my pastor, the whole deacon board. I also want to thank everyone who's a part of the Newark Public Schools family. From our principals, to our teachers, to our security guards, to our custodian workers, to our executive staff, who each and every day gave me that phone call and told me that it will be okay. I want to thank you for your continued support, for believing in me, and believing in this little boy who just came on this board at the age of 21 and said, I want to change. And you stuck with me for 3 years, and I'm glad that you were able to give me 3 more years to serve the 39,000 children that we serve in Newark Public Schools. I would like to make a vow to each and every one of you here today that the positions that I will take from this day forward will never be political. Our decisions that I will make each and every day will be totally on behalf of the 39,000 children I serve each and every day. And I understand that I am responsible to prepare every child to a high quality education, to make sure that those who are prepared and are ready to go into college are ready and prepared to go to college. But I also understand that we have children who may not go to college, but we have to prepare them for the workforce and the world. I, as a product of this city, understand the social issues that every child may have. I understand that not all children grow up in a household with their mother and their father. I understand that not all children go home to a mother or a father. I understand that some of our children are being raised by our grandparents. And I understand that some of our children are raising themselves. So it's my responsibility, my obligation, and it is my duty to make sure that I speak on behalf of every last one of them children and make sure that they believe in me, and that when I sit on this seat and I'm ready to pass the torch, my children, the children that I help prepare, will look at me just like my Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ will look at me and say, well done, my son, well done.
Earlier this evening, we spoke about a young lady who exemplifies excellence. We are privileged and honored that she has now joined us. Ms. Jackson, could you stand and be recognized for your magnificent achievement? I would also like to recognize that we have many dignitaries in the House this evening. I will not make the error of trying to name them all, so this is a global welcome. Thank you for your attendance, and we appreciate your coming tonight.
At this time, we will move into the voting items. There is just one voting item for this evening. Under Academic Services, approval of resolution for approval of in-state, out-of-state student field trips. Is there any discussion, questions or discussion on this?
Move it. Move it.
Okay. A motion? Motion to accept?
Okay, I have a motion moved by Mr. Lewis to accept that item.
Second.
Second?
Second by Ms. Pinto-Morin. Okay, this is a motion for the only item on the agenda tonight, the academic services piece for approval of the resolution for in-state, out-of-state field trips. Ms. Baskel-Richardson?
Yes.
Ms. Davis-Spate? Mr. Jeffries?
Yes.
Mr. Kenny?
Yes.
Mr. Lamore,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Matias.
Abstain.
Thank you. Dr. McCreary.
Abstain.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto-Marin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now move into public participation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now moving to the public participation segment of the meeting. As a reminder, time limits for all speakers will be adhered to. There will be no sharing or granting of speaking time to others. Speakers must be present when their name is called. All speakers are required to give their names and addresses. The public participation portion of the meeting is limited to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Examples of unacceptable behavior that will not be permitted include, but are not limited to, naming district employees and engaging in personal attacks, slurs, excessive loudness, calling out, yelling, generally disruptive behavior, attempting to disrupt the meetings, or inciting others to do so. Public participation at board meetings is intended to allow individual members of the public the opportunity to address the board and the administration on issues of public concern, not as a forum for two-way dialogue with the board members. The superintendent or designee or board chair may respond to questions either at the end of the public participation session, or responses may be provided at a later time. The superintendent or designee or advisory chair may interrupt any speaker or terminate individuals' speaking privileges if those speakers' comments are disruptive or obscene. An individual may be cautioned that a personally directed statement may be slanderous or defaming, and the individual may be liable for his or her statements. Any attempt to hijack or filibuster the proceeding, repeated interrupting or badgering the chair or district officials, repetitive or truculent speech, or other disregard of the rules of quorum will not be tolerated and may subject the individual to removal from the meeting. If necessary, the meeting may be adjourned.
Thank you. First speaker, Terrell McCray David. Terrell McCray David.
Good evening. My name is Terrell McCray David. I'm in 3rd grade. And this is why I don't want Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to not close down. Before I even came to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I didn't know how to count, I didn't know math, I didn't know reading. As soon as I came to Dr. Martin Luther King, I just learned everything, every single and each day. Dr. Martin Luther King, if this school closed down, it's like a part of me will be missing. I love this school so much, I'll risk my life to keep it open.
All right. Next speaker, Brenda Jones.
Good evening. I'm Brenda Jones, a grandparent volunteer at Dr. Martin Luther King School. We, the residents of the West Ward community, are very disheartened with your decision to close MLK. We were not included in any decision. Under Dr. Wilson's leadership, dealing with his mission and vision in a short period of time that was given to him, the academic statistic has increased. Dr. Wilson has put great resources in place to address the needs of the student population and to ensure academic success for every student. These include the Bell Program, the Citizenship School, as well as the New Jersey Ad Saturday Academy, taught by Rutgers students, dedicated teacher volunteers, in addition to teachers in grade K through 3 are trained by Children Literacy Initiative to utilize best practice for language art. We are asking you to please stop putting real estate, politics, and a dollar sign over our children's head. Taking the real estate from the public schools and giving the building to a charter school is not the best solution. Give us the proper resources we need. New textbook, modern technology, more student support services. We will exceed expectation. In closing, we, the parents, I'm a grandparent at that school, like I said, a volunteer grandparent, should have a choice to send our children to schools in their neighborhood. They should be not forced to have our children scattered about in schools of your choice, overcrowding these schools. You are infringing upon people's rights. Thank you.
Next speaker, Rosa Peralta. Rosa Peralta. Next speaker, Timothy Eugene Mason, Jr. Timothy Eugene Mason, Jr. Next speaker, Rakia Wilson. Rakia Wilson. Next speaker, Roslyn Edgerton. Roslyn Edgerton. Next speaker, Malaysia Donnell.
Good afternoon. My name is Malaysia Donnell, and I'm a student at Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, my school has been failing for the last 8 years, but why close it? Why not give us resources we need to be successful? Will closing the school make students better? Give us what charter schools have. Charter schools is not for everyone. I came from a charter school, Marion P. Thomas. I wasn't very confident. Now I'm at MLK. I'm a lot more confident. I couldn't have done this without my kindergarten teacher, Ms. Thomas, first grade teacher, Ms. Greer, and my current teacher, Ms. Ford. With this being said, will you reconsider your decision to keep our school open? We lack resources. Can you give us what charter schools have? Thank you and have a good day.
Next speaker, Hajar Sika. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Hajar Sika. Next speaker, DeMarquise Javon Asagueste.
Yeah!
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Good evening, everyone. My name is DeMarcus Aussie August, and I'm a third grade scholar at Dr. Martin Luther King Junior School. I stand before you this evening because I would like to convince you to give our school another chance and let it stay open. These are the reasons why. We have great teachers at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is my first year at Dr. King. I moved to Newark from Kearney. I like this school much better than the school I went to in Kearney. We do not have any activities like gym and debate. I'm on the debate team and I am the youngest member of the team. My teacher is my debate coach. She has a lot of confidence in me and believed that I could be a part of the team even though I'm only in the 3rd grade. My first debate tournament ever, I won 2 out of 3 rounds every state applied. I have been on the honor roll all 3 marking periods. And also received the Student of the Month award. I believe very strongly that my classmates and I will definitely pass NJS because we will use everything we learned from this year from Ms. McCombs and all of our prior knowledge. If the school is closed, I feel it would really affect the scholars in a negative way because we are a community and a family. I hope that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. doors will remain open for future scholars. Thank you and have a good day.
Next speaker, Kamaya Hill. Kamaya Hill.
Kamaya?
Is Kamaya Hill here? Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Dear Ms. Anderson and the Advisory Board, my name is Kamaya Hill. I am a 2nd grader at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School. My teacher tells me that I am a top student and that makes me a happy student. I have been going to Dr. MLK since kindergarten, and all of my teachers have made me work hard in reading, math, writing, science, and social studies. This is why I can be proud of my grades and myself and my school. This is why I am standing here before you, Ms. Anderson, and the Advisory Board to please save our school. Please save Dr. MLK.
Next speaker, Jordan Roper. Jordan Roper. Next speaker, Diamond Jones. Diamond Jones. Okay, thank you. Next speaker, Janaea Jones. Right. Next speaker, Joseph Del Grasso.
She's coming.
Joseph Del Grasso. Next speaker, Bessie Walker.
All right! Come on, Bessie!
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the winners of our school board election, Dr. McCreary, Marquise Lewis, and Daniqua Matthias. It has all been said by our young folks. They took some of my message. As a former board member, a former elected official in this city, a community activist, I rise this evening on behalf of Martin Luther King School. It has been said already by our children what they've been able to accomplish under the short period of time under the leadership of Dr. Glenn Wilson. It's not about the buildings, as our children have told you. Closing buildings doesn't solve our problems and our issues. Putting resources at their disposal, like the young lady said, the debate programs, the math clubs, the before and after school programs, the training for parents. First, it also says to let parents into the district, and that's not what this district has been doing under the leadership of Cammie Anderson. You've been isolating, keeping out our parents, not sharing the input as to what is happening. And then two, there was a law up under the Child Left Behind law that Governor Christie, Cammie Anderson, Mayor Booker decided to have a waiver on. It says whenever you go into a school to close a school, there must be a total assessment. And that assessment includes a number of things. I wonder why a waiver was given and it was shut down so that you can arbitrarily close schools at your will. That needs to be relooked at. I'm going to close, but I ask for a simple few more minutes because I don't want to be respectful, but I need to share a couple of questions that our new board members and all of our other board members need to ask. Where was the impact study for all of the closings of all of the schools? It takes in security, it takes in transportation, it takes in students, it takes in the cultural, it takes in the safety aspect, it takes in a full-rounded aspect. Now, I need to just say to you all, will closing a school bring the achievements up? I don't think so. I believe that you, once again, need to put the resources at the schools. In conclusion, and I can yell out very loud, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but you have to understand that Dr. King School has made remarkable strides in its academic performance. And you need to consider that when you go into schools like the West Ward, the Central Ward, and the South Ward and close our schools and don't look in any of the other wards. We will be out there fighting to keep Dr. King open. And Dr. Wilson, I pledge to you with my alumni associations and all my organizations, we'll be there working with you, and we will fight to keep Dr. King open.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Next speaker, Diana Kwamina.